Can you even imagine the hardness of the materials we're going to engineer in the future? Hardness. 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 If you hear the word hardness out of context, you might think that it's just a really strange way of saying difficulty, like the difficulty of a test or the hardness of a test. But that is not what we're talking about in engineering. When we say hardness, it's not difficulty, it's talking about a material property. So the hardness of a metal or a hardness of a ceramic or the hardness of that plastic shell protecting your car or your laptop or your phone that you've got in your pocket. Hardness is a material property, not just this amorphous definition of how difficult something is. That said, hardness of all the different engineering metrics or measurements is one of the fuzzier ones. There is no single definition for hardness. In the same way that you might have a definition for length, like you can just measure the distance from point A to point B. I mean, that's not that complicated. Well, it's not so easy for hardness. Hardness is about how likely it is for a material to deform in a local area. But that's real vague. Are we talking about on the molecular level? Are we talking about at the macro level? Like if we throw a cannonball into the side of the car, is the car casing hard enough to resist that? Hardness, turns out, we have definitions for each one of these cases. There's the idea of micro-hardness, which I dealt with in biomedical engineering. We were concerned about our materials that we were using to replace bones in the body. For example, if you took a ceramic ball and replaced the ball of the hip joint with that, well, you had to make sure that that ceramic ball was pretty hard, that it would resist scratching, that it would resist pitting, that it would resist crumbling, because you don't want those little bits and pieces inside your body. Likewise, you might be concerned with the hardness of your, micro-hardness of your materials in cars or jets or anywhere where friction is involved. But then you have other types of hardness too. Maybe you aren't concerned with just the local scratching and indentation at the micro scale. Maybe you're concerned about dropping a big lead weight on top of your car and checking if the trunk resists denting. And so you might use a different kind of scale to measure that kind of hardness. Hardness is fuzzier than all the other metrics in engineering, I think. And it is our engineering word of the day. Hey, it's your host, Pius. And you know what's not really hard? It's not hard to go over to k12engineering.net, the website, to check out my other podcast, the K12 Engineering Education Podcast. You can check out all the different ways and discussions and ideas about getting engineering thinking into young people. So go on over to k12engineering.net and check it out.